What's up, Cooksy Mob? Hey, I'm gonna try and speak up. My mic crapped out, so I'm gonna go with just the internal microphone, and hopefully it sounds good enough to post. But anyway, Cooksy Mob, what's up? Loretta, Lynns, what an event. I'm sorry, I had so much fun just watching this thing and seeing these kids go through the challenges of just mud, slop, injuries, challenges. It's a fun event to watch. I loved it, and before we get into that, guys, remember, subscribe. If you like the content, just subscribe. I appreciate it. It definitely helps the algorithm. I want to thank Coach Rob at Complete Med Solutions. If you need like blood work, he'll do your blood work and get you on a program exactly what you need specifically. Epic Garage Designs. Check out Epic Garage Designs. Guys, they have everything to make your garage badass. Slat wall, flooring. And if you're in the Las Vegas area, hit up Epic Blinds and Shutters for window coverings. Strapped. You guys know Ride Strapped, my favorite company as far as goggles go. They're patriotic. They got great products. And you know what? I'm going to read a review on one of the upcoming shows. We gave some goggles to a guy, and he absolutely loves them. And then Precision Transport. If you're sending anything and you need a refrigerated truck, you need a big truck, and you don't want to be overcharged, and you want to make sure that thing gets there on time, because those of us that have dealt with trucking companies, let's be honest, they're not that reliable. So anyway, guys, let's get into Loretta Lynns and what happened and what that means.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
Guys, I love watching the ranch. My favorite thing about watching it is Kevin Kelly as an announcer. I think he should just be a stand-up comedian. We should just call him the motocross comedian. He's great. He does it in such a funny way, and maybe I relate to him because we're in the same age group and I understand most of the jokes that he tells. But he's also really good at interviews. He had Wes Kane up there, and he's trying to get Wes to explain how he beat 3 guys up at Okeechobee MX. Wes was trying to kind of back out of the story, but not Kevin Kelly nailed him down. Come on, man, tell me what it is. And he wanted all the details. I love that. That's authenticity. That's real. That's not taking it too serious, but he's also not making a joke of the sport. He's just having fun with it. It's dirt bike racing in the mud at Loretta Lynns. Nobody's curing cancer there. They're having a good time. And actually, they might be curing cancer if they have fun, because fun promotes positivity and all those different things that actually have been proven to fight cancer. So, sidetrack. I digressed, as Johnny Hopper would say. But I do have a real question. I see all these kids on the podium, and while I love to see these kids up there learning, finding their personality, they're always extremely nervous. They're not used to public speaking on that level. Somebody has coached them up, and they told them what to say, and they do feed them right at the sponsor line, which I'm okay with, because a lot of the times the kids just get stuck. And if you interview a kid that's stuck, it's really hard when you get yes, no answers to just keep coming up with it. If you just get them loosened up and have them thank their sponsors, it works out great. But the one thing that I noticed a lot, so many kids are dead set on, I want to thank Jesus Christ for keeping me safe.
Lord Jesus Christ, keep me safe.
And while I have zero problems, Christianity runs strong in motocross. I'm all for freedom of religion. Religion does a ton of great things for a lot of people. I don't know what lies beyond this, this form of our bodies and where we go next. I don't know. So I'm not going to take a shot at anyone's religion. I may find out something different than whatever I believe when I pass on. But my problem with it is just logically, if you thank God for keeping you safe, does that, by definition, the opposite of that is if you get hurt, that if God was supposed to keep you safe, then it's his fault you got hurt. Curious. I'm just curious. So don't freak out. And I'm not trashing anyone. I respect anyone who gets up there and expresses their faith in an authentic manner. But what does that mean? Like, please explain to me. Just somebody in the comments or whatever, just explain to me. So when you get hurt, if you always thank God or Jesus for keeping you safe, whose fault is it when you get hurt? Does it all of a sudden become your fault and God didn't protect you? I don't know. I'm just really confused on that one. And it just me thinking, and I'm not trying to be a dick. I promise I'm not trying to be a dick, and I'm not trying to get anyone to stop with their religion, because you believe in whatever you want, and I'll believe in whatever I want, and I'm a 100% believer in your own religion. Whatever you choose to believe in. That's on you, man. I can't prove or disprove it, so I accept openly. But logically, that just confuses me, because I can't. Maybe I'm just stuck on that. Maybe it's my own thing, but I'm like, well, wait a second. If he kept you safe, then it's his fault when you get hurt. I don't know. Please explain. I'll move off of that. In the pro sport class, the pro sport classes are the final step before you're supposed to go pro. They also feature these B classes, which have Casey Cochran, who's actually been dominating all the other amateur events. It's really weird how they do this, but they're trying to give these kids more time to develop, which makes it even more silly that Casey Cochran, in his efforts, battled through a dislocated shoulder, popped it back in and raced. This kid won the Supercross Futures Championship this year. This kid won the Combine at Redbud. He's already there. He doesn't need to prove anything else. What you do when you pop that shoulder out is get back, pop it back in, and go back to healing up. Do not send him back out there. It worked out okay. He got the championship. But much like, a coach on fourth down, when they say go for it, well, if you make it, it was a great decision. If you don't, it was horrible. They made it, so I wouldn't say it's a great decision, but it worked out. My question is, when you run a kid that hard at this age, you've got an athletic lifespan of about 10 years. Now, are you using those up as an amateur? Are you taking years off at the end of his career? Where a guy like Mark Phineas, he crashed in the pro sport, in the open pro or 250 pro sport, and was banged up, and they sat him out, and they're going to keep him ready. He's got some big plans to go with, I think he's Budds Creek. He's got a few more rounds where he understands Loretta Lynns, and he's got Daniel Blair in his ear, which is awesome because Daniel's one of the smartest, most intellectual people. Just looking at all the different factors, Daniel takes all the information and makes an educated decision on what's best for this kid moving forward. Like I said, his career was mismanaged, so he's kind of learned what the best. And you're never going to get set on one exact way to do it. Because you can do it like Cochran is and end up being successful, which like Hayden Deegan, that's going to be successful. But there's a way to give your rider the best chance at success moving forward. And I believe Mark Phineas is on that path. And I believe Casey Cochran, this kid's tough, man. You cannot argue. Sometimes they need to be protected from themselves. But to pop his shoulder back in, go out there. Casey Cochran is leveled up this year. This kid is good. He's pro ready, which baffles me why he's in the B class. I feel like if you win Supercross Futures, you should be bumped to pro sport. Yes, I know the qualifications and all that, but it just doesn't make sense to me. But you see a kid like Preston Boastplug go out there and he just had a horrible weekend. Does that mean he's not going to be a good pro? Absolutely not. Preston Boastplug is talented. And just because he didn't do good at Loretta's, or maybe Loretta's is a bad track for him, he's still got every opportunity to become a great pro. So it really doesn't mean a lot. While it's fun and I love this event, it doesn't prove anything or disprove anything. Daxton Bennick is a savage. This kid's going to be a good pro. I mean, I noticed that in Futures when him and Julian Bomer, who's also going to be a good pro, were battling. And Daxton Bennick has that killer instinct. Like, he wants to win more than he wants to breathe, and you can see it. He went out there and fought his ass off, got himself a championship, got himself the Horizon Award. And the Horizon Award will pay off because I do think he's going to look like he's going to go on to be a top pro. But he's already signed with Star Yamaha, so that's also a bigger part. That's a bigger part of the equation than winning the Horizon Award. Had he not got a championship, Daxton Bennick would still be a badass pro and do some amazing things in this sport. I mean, he's good. Ronnie Renner. I love seeing Ronnie Renner back at the ranch. Freestyle, original best whip. Ronnie Renner out there at 45 plus. People say, oh, he's an old pro. He never scored a point at a national. And all you vet riders that complain about having to race against Mike Brown, Jeff Emig, just run the 45 class. There's classes that allow you to avoid any pros. Renner's like a freak of nature. He just was so talented, but just never raced. Sorry, you're going to have to deal with it. That's just the way it is. But you get to avoid all the riders that scored points. So I don't want to hear this. Don't let Mike Brown, don't let Jeff Emig, don't let Barry Carson. Those guys can come back. And a lot of them have kids that race too. So, I mean, obviously Emig and Brown don't, but it's something, in my mind, it's ridiculous to not have those guys around the ranch to be a part of it. But